Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. I got videos today from Alexander Grace.
A few months ago, my boyfriend got me this flower subscription, so now every single month someone shows up to the door with a beautiful bouquet. First couple months I was like so sweet, obsessed. Today the guy comes with the bouquet. He was like, oh my god, yeah, the flowers from the subscription. This man completely forgot he was paying for this and subscribed to it. So I was like, okay, is this sweet or is this just him being lazy? Do we respect him for thinking smarter, not hard? Or does he need to buy flowers individually every single month?
Fellas, you can buy flowers.
You can't do it right. It's always just not enough.
For a woman, but be aware of just how many problems she can find in what you've done. So much can go wrong. Are these the same flowers you bought me last time? Why isn't there a card with these flowers? What do you mean you just bought these from the petrol station? Why didn't you go
Why are they roses? I like peyotes.
to a proper florist? I suppose this means that you want to have sex later. Why didn't you put
What, did you buy this off a Mexican guy on the corner? Maybe.
them in a vase? Why are you just handing
They're still good flowers. I'm just supporting small businesses. Jeez.
them to me? These aren't my favorite flowers. I told you what my favorite flowers are. Why don't you ever listen to me? You probably just bought these because you feel guilty. I mean, like I said, you can do it and you might just get a very sincere thanks. But please don't underestimate a woman's capacity to find problems in what you've done. Like this poor guy, I gotta say, like a subscription flower service that he just sets and then forgets about. I'm thinking, genius. Flowers are a decoration that naturally decomposes. So it's something that does need to be continuously replaced. So you just place the order once and then you don't need to think about it. Perfect. But I'm getting the sense that this woman doesn't appreciate
No, she does not.
his foresight and the efficiency of his thinking. Don't underestimate with a woman just how many things can potentially go wrong with what you do.
The last time I actually tried to hold a relationship, he came over and he was cool for the first 3 days. I was like, I lay out my rules. I'm clean. My house, spotless. My drawers, folded, everything. My bed made every morning. And when someone comes in and they don't have that same energy, it's like, I don't know if that's a mental illness, probably. But if you're not gonna rock with it, get out.
OCD.
If you can't make my bed the exact way I need it to be made, don't touch my bed. And he tried to make my bed.
And he's
Get out of
gone.
my house. He made my bed wrong.
I actually got a little bit distracted watching that clip. I think the woman behind the lady speaking knew the camera was on her, and so she was like adjusting her top constantly. But this bed making story is just ridiculous. Why are women always so dissatisfied? Why are they constantly finding problems? Why is
Because they're just chaos. Always.
the attitude so entitled, and it always seems like she feels like she deserves so much more than what's in front of her? Are modern women just spoiled? Has feminism given them unrealistic and inflated expectations? Yeah, that's all part of it. But I want you to consider this from a different angle, from the perspective of female identity. Do you realize how much a woman's sense of self and her pride in her identity as a woman comes down to her ability to make good choices? Now that might seem counterintuitive given the the type of men that sometimes these women will choose to date, but actually think about it, that kind of proves the point in some ways. Like, why won't she break up with him? Why is she still with Mr. Scumbag bad boy who treats her terribly? Well, it could well be that she cannot stomach the idea of admitting that she made a bad choice, that she doesn't make good decisions.
Of course, women can never admit wrong. They can never admit that they picked wrong either.
As a woman, that's too threatening to her identity, because for a woman, her choice of partner, like who she shares her life with, potentially has children with, that is the biggest, most important decision of her entire existence. She gets that wrong, it's a total disaster. She signs herself up for misery. But if she gets it right, then not only is she going to be thrilled with the genetic material that they're going to pass on to their children, but he's also going to be able to protect her, make her feel seen and validated. He's going to provide her with resources. A woman's life can move and change so much based on the man that she's with. And so she has these ancient evolutionary pressures, embedded into her instincts, screaming at her, for God's sake, make a good decision. So much is riding on this. And women will often validate each other, if they've gone shopping, it's like, oh, yes, that was exactly the right choice. Like, oh, definitely get that one. Constantly affirming and validating each other for their ability to make good decisions. I'm not sure if I've ever heard women sit around and criticize each other's decisions. This is so important to them that they're seen to be good choosers, the ones who can make a good choice, that there's this unspoken pressure, this rule that all women seem to abide by, where they constantly affirm each other as like, yes, you're a good chooser. That's how she needs to think of herself, as somebody who has good judgment. But now here's where it gets really sticky.
She did the work.
Is that, which is this one's so hard for men to relate to. Hear me out here, because when a woman makes a choice, she won't know if that choice was a good choice or not for a long time to come. When she picks a man, to settle down with, to marry, whether or not she chose well, that question is never really settled. It always remains open and up in the air. You could be married to her for 20 years and she's constantly fluctuating whether or not she feels like she made a good choice marrying you. She's evaluating the merits of a choice she made 20.
This is why men just walked away. Why would we even want to deal with this, questioning of we're the person or not for 20 years on?
Years ago, based on your behavior today. Now, this is how she wants it. This is how women operate. This isn't a mistake, but it comes with very significant costs. It keeps her in a constant anxiety loop because her identity is at stake with every choice that you make, with every action that you take. Everything that you do doesn't just affect her immediately in a practical sense, but at a deeper sort of identity level, your actions determine the quality of her choice. And so when you mess up, and do something stupid and she's pissed off, it's not just because she has to deal with the immediate consequences, it's because you are threatening her very identity. When you screw up, you make her feel like she made a bad choice, that she's got bad judgment, and she's pissed off about that. And that's why she wants to punish you.
When are you going to go throw the trash away? I asked you 2 hours ago to throw it. Should I just throw it away? I could just throw it away. If it's bothering you that much, I could just throw it away. I told you to throw this trash away. You haven't done it. I told you to wash this dish. You haven't done it. I swear to God, men are useless.
This aspect of female psychology is very difficult for men to relate to because our psychology naturally lends itself to compartmentalization. That's how the masculine cognitive architecture works and operates. This situation is about this situation. That choice is about that choice. We had a victory here. We had a loss over there. It's not difficult for men to just draw a neat line, a boundary around an episode, to give it a score and then to close the book, to say, right, that chapter is over. Now let's move on to the next one. We like that. To the male mind, that seems clean. It prevents any kind of crossover contamination. And importantly, for the male mind, it gives you the chance of redemption. If you fuck up, but you own it and say, yep, that was a shit decision. That was dumb. You can just employ this mindset to be like, okay, that was a loss. I lost that round. On to the next one. So yeah, men like that, but women don't think like this. You see, the female mind is a lot more porous, right? Like everything just kind of flows from one thing into the next. And so if you're in an argument like this, where she's giving you a hard time, you understand, at least on an intuitive level, most men get this, that when she asked you to take the trash out and you didn't do it and she's this pissed off, it's not just about the trash. She's angry about a whole bunch of stuff and it all gets channeled into this one particular disagreement. And most men get that, they understand that, whatever she's pissed off about is about more than what she's saying, but I don't think that they understand how much this actually just relates to her sense of identity and the way that she relates to you. Because for her, you are a decision that she made. And the reason that she's giving you a hard time is because at some level for her, the jury is still out as to whether or not that decision that she made to be with you was a good one or not. In a sense, she's not really committed to the decision. She's not just living in a relationship with you, she's in an act, like a process of continuously gathering evidence, trying to determine whether or not the choice was the right one, whether her judgment was good, whether she is somebody, who can embrace the identity of like, yes, I'm a woman who makes good choices. That's at stake for her. And you can see then that even the smallest things, like the smallest disagreements or miscommunications, they can quickly become existential for her. Because if she believes that she made a bad choice, then that is now an indictment on her as a woman.
Who your partner is going to be.
I mean, it is. Women pick horribly all the time. We tell them they pick horribly all the time, and they always say it's the men's fault.
Who your husband's going to be is the most important decision a woman can make in her whole life. Nobody should take that lightly. We should definitely all do expert research.
And I have no problems with that. In fact, I agree and think that men should also be doing this. You guys have heard me say many times on this channel, raise your standards. I think I would also argue that the person that you choose to spend your life with is probably the most consequential decision you're ever going to make. Marry a sweet feminine girl, live a charmed life. Marry a toxic, angry one who blames you for everything, you're living in misery, you're in hell. So I want men to raise their standards. I want them to be pickier and choosier, but it is an uphill battle sometimes to convince men that this is important, because at a fundamental level, men don't build their identity in the same way that women do. For men, our sense of self tends to come from what we do and what we achieve rather than what we choose. But for women, it's very different. It's largely about her discernment. And who she chooses to partner up with is a matter of identity. It says something about who she is at a fundamental level. For the woman who is just forever angry at her husband, that's just a permanent fixture of her emotional state, is this resentment towards him. That's usually because for her, in her experience, there's no clear boundary between where she ends and where he begins. She is enmeshed, right? Like at her core, she is codependent. And she's always going to be pissed at him because his behavior is directly felt as an indictment on who she is. This woman legitimately began her video saying, "Should I start a fight about this?" Very premeditated. But she can't just let it go because her sense of self is at stake. You bought me flowers, but why is it coming through a subscription? My friends' husbands buy them flowers and they do it spontaneously because they're feeling romantic and they love their partner. You need to be like them, because if you're not doing it like that, then that means that they made a better choice than I did, and I can't stomach that. This is actually...
Damn, what Alex just said right there, like, really got me. It's like, oh yeah, they did that for them. That means they picked better. That's why I'm mad at you. That's totally women.
Actually, one of the downsides of dating a woman and getting together with her when she's young, mostly there's positives in terms of pair bonding. That's generally the kind of relationships I would recommend, not leaving it too late so the two of you can grow together. But one of the downsides is that you don't know sometimes when a woman is marrying you for your potential. You know, like if you're just a young guy, 20 years old or something like that, and she's trying to lock you into a marriage, it could well be because she sees potential in you to become something that you're not right now. And she makes her decision based off that potential. And that could be very sweet. That could be great, as a feminine woman might naturally support her husband to become what she sees in him and that potential. But if she's a feminist kind of woman who feels very entitled to this, she's not trying to contribute.
She's going to sit there and wait until you get there.
To your success. She's watching to see if you're going to fail and fall short. And if you don't live up to the image that she had of you, you don't live up to that potential, she's going to be pissed. She's going to punish you. I took a risk, she's thinking, marrying you based on your potential. How can you let me down like this? I need you to materialize your potential right now so that I can prove to everybody else that I had good judgment. It is absolutely exhausting. It's difficult to understate how tiring this will be.
This is why women love showing off their boyfriend. Oh, he pays for everything. He takes care of me and does all this, so they can push it in front of all the other women's faces that I picked better than you.
As a man dealing with a woman who has left, the jury out on all these decisions she made decades ago. You're like, God, can't we just put this to rest? But sadly, no, not completely, because this is not a bug. This is actually a feature of female psychology. When femininity is operating as intended, there's some good parts. Like, it means that women don't rush to premature judgments. It means they can hold complexity. They can track relational dynamics over a period of time. The very fact that her identity is at stake is sometimes the thing that keeps her invested in the relationship and helps her continue to contribute. In part 2, I'm going to go into a lot of detail on each of those that I've just outlined, because I think it's important to see this part of female psychology in its greater evolutionary context. But the real problem is not that women necessarily experience this anxiety, right? Like, that anxiety is just energy. What matters is what they do with that energy, how they relate to that anxiety. And where so much has gone wrong is in the attitudes that modern feminism has encouraged women to have about those feelings.
He can't match your energy, your skill set, or your drive. And he's looking for you to go easy on him because he's just trying his best. He's trying to make you feel bad so that you have sympathy for him. But what he's really saying is that he's lazy and unmotivated, and he wants you to lower the bar. You know that lowering the bar is the worst thing you can do, because you just give him permission to continue being lazy and to act like a spoiled child. So the best thing you can do when a man-child whines and pouts and says, being so hard on me. Your standards are just so high. I'm doing the best that I can. It's just,
What man is crying in that fashion?
just tell him the truth. This best isn't good enough.
Do you see what's happening? Is that a woman feels insecure about her choice and then she makes that insecurity your problem. When you combine that anxiety with the ideology of feminism, it makes a woman feel entitled, like it's completely legitimate for her to just demand more and more and more from you. More performance, more devotion, more gifts, more favors, more money, more proof that she made a good choice. When I talk about toxic femininity on this channel, this is what I'm talking about. When a woman feels insecure or anxious, okay, that part's fine. But when she thinks that that emotion entitles her to just try and extract more and more from you, that is toxic. And it's a complete inversion of what femininity is supposed to do. Femininity is not meant to just extract more from a man. It's supposed to pour more of itself into that man. If a woman is feeling anxious about whether or not she made a good choice when she picked you, a feminine woman will contribute to your life to try and improve it. She will support you. She'll be your biggest cheerleader. She won't ask, why aren't you at the destination yet? No, she's going to say, how can I help you get to that destination? She uses her warmth and her presence and her belief in you to build you up, to help you achieve victory, to become a winner. That's what a feminine woman does. She makes her man feel like he's the best, most amazing guy in the world. And guess what? He will rise to the occasion. It is extraordinary what men can do when they have the support of a good woman. And when she supports him, then by that support, it actually proves that she made a good choice because her support turned him into the great guy that she knew he could be.
What's all this?
Just a little something for you.
For me? For you. Hey there.
Is it me? Or when women do this for you, like, I actually kind of get upset. It's like, why'd you waste money? Like, you don't even know me. Why did you do all this? Because if you know me, you would know I don't like any of this stuff. Like, I get them wanting to show appreciation and stuff sometimes, but sometimes I just feel about it. Do others feel the same way? Comment down below.
We know you have happy week, so.
Mm.
You got
Flowers
flowers
for me?
I don't feel the same way. I just don't feel how this gentleman is feeling right now when women do these types of things for me. I just feel like, the fuck?
I don't want to get too mystical, but femininity is like magic when it's applied properly. It's always had a transformative capacity to just bring out the best in men when it's employed properly.
True.
Men
Okay, I agree with
rise in the presence of women who genuinely invest in them, who genuinely love them, and are willing to put in the effort themselves to make sure that he succeeds. If a woman wants to feel like she chose well and that she's dating a winner, then she just needs to make him feel like a winner. It's not that complex. It's actually pretty simple stuff. Stop yelling at him for being a loser and instead help him win. Feminism has just done so much damage to the minds of modern women because it's made them feel like supporting their man is beneath them. Like that's not their job, that's not their role. And in so doing, they have denied women the feeling of their own efficacy. They've alienated them from their own femininity because it is one of the primary ways that a woman can feel the capacity of her own femininity is in how much she can transform a man. To deny that, to squash that, to repress that, to become like this nagging feminist harpy woman, it makes zero sense. Not only is it a violation of your true nature, which is cooperative, but at a practical level, how can you not see that your entitled, nagging attitude that's always criticizing him is going to create the very conditions that you fear? You're going to make him feel like a loser, and then you're going to feel like a loser yourself because you picked a loser. How did you not see that coming? What the fuck else did you think was going to happen? Seriously, I'm asking this question quite sincerely. Like, what do you think is going to occur? Do you really...
It's like you shitting on your guy constantly constantly, yeah, how is he gonna be able to do the things he's supposed to do if you shit on him
Really
constantly?
imagine that just shaming and criticizing your husband and telling him all the ways that he's a failure, you're going to magically turn him into some well-adjusted, confident, outgoing, successful guy? So I hope that you watched the video till the end here, because this is really what brings it all together. So what I'm trying to say is that women leaving questions open-ended, that's always going to be the case. But the anxiety that that creates doesn't necessarily mean that she has to become this hypercritical, nagging wife. That anxiety can be the fuel that she uses to love you and to support you. That's the difference between an entitled princess and a woman with genuine feminine power. One just demands that the story goes the way that she wants, and the other contributes and helps shape the story in the direction that she chooses.
Again, shout outs to Alex, always, jogging my brain a little bit and just giving me a lot of insights on a lot of these little quirks that women have and their attitudes and just the way they operate. You learn more and more every day. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And catch you guys next time. Ciao.